The NFL draft is in the book, so you know what that means. It is time for the most ridiculous segment in all of sports media, NFL draft grades. We are going to grade every single pick Atlanta made, and then I'm going to give an overall grade for a bunch of players that have yet to even play a snap of rookie minicap for the Falcons. But hey, it's a tradition unlike any other. We grade the Falcons draft despite it being way too early. So my first grade is for pick number 8. Bijan Robinson gets a B+ in my book. I am more optimistic about this pick than other people. Pros, he's a very good football player. He was probably the best football player when they were on the clock. Cons, it's a running back at number 8. You don't get to pick top 10 all that often. At least you hope not to. So usually you look to try and find some impact players at other positions that are harder to fill, like edge rusher or cornerback. Instead, Atlanta went Bijan despite having a reigning 1,000-yard rusher like Tyler Algier and Cordero Patterson in their backfield and a ridiculous offensive line that can make anyone look like a Pro Bowl running back. But we are talking about Bijan Robinson, the most complete back we have seen enter the draft in a long time, in my opinion. He is Christian McCaffrey with Leonard Fournette's body, right? He's got the receiving abilities. He can run between the tackles, great downfield speed. He simply checks every single box you look for. The only question and debate there is do you use the number 8 pick on a running back? I am more open to the idea that maybe some other people are because it is the number 8 pick. Yeah, you could get a guy like Christian Gonzalez or Jalen Carter, and it's harder to find elite corners and edge rushers or pass rushers and whatnot. But you also had a sure thing in Bijan, and I love the idea of Atlanta hopefully having their next Michael Turner on steroids in terms of the type of impact and legacy and longevity he will have on this team, right? He's going to be the leading running back for the Atlanta Falcons for the next 8, 9, 10 seasons. He's got that much in the tank. He's not simply going to be a first-round pick that gets overpaid and he's off the team like Zeke is very shortly afterwards. He is going to have a great career with the Falcons. He will simply be a fan favorite and the number 1 jersey seller before you know it. That's why I like the pick. So what's your favorite pick the Falcons made so far? This is the pinned comment. Before we get to the next grade, which is actually a little bit different than producer Jeremy has, despite him wishing that it was that high of a grade, let me know what your favorite pick was by the Falcons. Now let's get to Matthew Bergeron, who Jeremy originally had as an F+. Little mean Jeremy. It's a C+ grade, a little typo, but we fixed it on the fly. So Bergeron was a pick that, I'm going to admit, I was not jazzed up about at the time, right? They traded up to get him at number 38. So if you're moving up, I want to see them get a top-tier player. They go left tackle from Syracuse. He's going to move to guard. He will be the left guard. The reason why I give it a C+ is because I've yet to actually see him play guard, right? We're all optimistic that the transition will go smooth and it won't be an issue. Let's hope for that, right? It's not strange or uncommon for offensive linemen to be reshuffled once they get to the pros. But going from tackle to guard, it's a bit more of a reshufflement than just like guard to center or right tackle to left tackle, right? It's a very different position. Go talk to some big guys about it. Dane Brugler wrote this on him. Bergeron is very efficient in his movements and grades well as a run blocker, but his inconsistent base and hand placement are gateway issues that disrupt his rhythm and ability to finish, especially in space. He has NFL starting talent, although his skills might be maximized inside as a zone blocking guard. So I want to be optimistic, or maybe more optimistic than I currently am, and I believe that Bergeron very well may prove me wrong, and I'm going to have a bad take. That's fine. This is the industry of giving takes. They're all not going to be hits. I just think if you're moving up into round 2, you should be getting a surefire thing at the position you want and not hoping that he can be good at that position. Moving on to their next selection, Zach Harrison, edge rusher out of Ohio State. I'm going to give it a C+. A lot of great traits. Good size, right? Good size, good height, good weight. 6'5", 274 pounds. He can be a down lineman. He could come off the edge. The issue is he doesn't have great productivity, and he doesn't have that bend you look for. He doesn't have that great first step or speed that you like to see out of edge rushers. For Ohio State last year, just 3.5 sacks and 8 tackles for loss. So this is a Ryan Nielsen project, right? This is a pick where Fontenot brings Nielsen in on the loop and says, hey, here's a blank canvas. The guy's 6'5", 274. Can you make him into a 8, 9 sack type player, a good Robin for a future Batman we might draft next year or sign in free agency? If Nielsen's in, then I want to believe in the new DC. But I'm going to be a bit hesitant and give it a C+ for now. Now make sure to subscribe, by the way, as we get you guys daily videos on the Dirty Birds all off season long. Even though the draft is over, we're not going to slow down our coverage at all, actually. We're going to keep you guys in the loop for all things Atlanta Falcons until training camp opens up, and then we can shift gears. So make sure to sub if you have not already. More picks to get to. As day 2 ended, we went into day 3 where Atlanta had an early pick and then a long wait until their final picks. At 113, they finally get us a cornerback, and I love it. Clark Phillips out of Utah. I'm giving this an A- grade. Finding Clark Phillips in round 4, who I thought might go round 2, could be one of those picks where in a few years we look back and go, what an all-time steal by Terry Fontenot. He's a bit undersized, which maybe that's the reason why he slipped into day 3 and out of day 2, just 5'9", 184. But he plays so much bigger than that. He's got great instincts and awesome ball hawking skills. Dane Brugler added this on. Phillips doesn't have elite size or speed and needs to limit the big plays allowed. But his read-react athleticism, competitive instincts, and ball skills will translate well to NFL coverage. He has the skill set of a playmaking nickel capable of seeing outside reps as well. Like I said, great ball skills. Last year for the Utes, he had 6 interceptions, longtime starter in Salt Lake City, originally a 4-star recruit. If you want to go A.J. Terrell and Jeff Okudah as your 2 boundary corners, your 2 outside guys, right? You want to put Phillips in the nickel for his rookie season, and if Okudah's not working out outside, you bump him outside, and boom, you've got a no-fly zone with Jesse Bates, A.J. Terrell, and Clark Phillips for the next couple of years. I like this pick a lot by Fontenot. Definitely one of my favorites, if not my overall favorite, for the player and where you got him. Next up here, we go to round number 7. It's round 7. Hashtag be nice to round 7 picks here. We're going to go DeMarcco Hellams. So the safety from Alabama, he actually led the Crimson Tide in tackling this year and in interceptions last season. So he's got a knack for being in the midst of every single play, it looks like. So for round 7, 224, I don't really care what position it is, right? You're not finding starters in round 7, so don't look at it as, we need this. Why don't we draft that? We don't need a safety. No, round 7, you look for special teams and depth. And I like this move by Atlanta. I mean, Tom Downey had him ranked as his 23rd overall safety. They catch him on the earlier side of round number 7. Now, for the Crimson Tide, he was mainly a free safety, but he could be a strong safety when he moves on to the next level and doesn't linger into the box as much. Super tough player, high football IQ. You are speaking round 7 football porn to GMs right there for the 7th round. Again, you are not finding starters in round 7. We are looking for depth, and we are looking for special teams. That is the name of the game, and Hellams, he can offer you that. 7 pass breakups and 108 tackles last year in Tuscaloosa. We've got one more pick to get to here at 225 immediately afterwards. They went Jovaughn Gwyn. Another A+ because it's round 7. And we're going to be nice to 7th round picks. Come on, they just got picked at the very end of the NFL draft. Let's boost these guys up a little bit here. The South Carolina guard/center was the number 8 center in Tom Downey's rankings, 6'1", 297, so a bit on the smaller size. Now, you could have him compete to be the backup center behind Drew Dahlman. If an injury happens and Bergeron moves from guard to tackle, maybe he could fill in at left guard. He has 47 career starts, as our scouting report indicates. He lacks the size to maybe be a full-time center, which means lacks the size to be a full-time guard and could move to center as a result. Good mover with a better base and power than you'd expect for someone at 6'1". Now, he's not going to be the best against the Polynesian 350-pound nose tackles, but then again, who is, okay? So, a round 7 pick here, you can't give it an F. You can't give it any grade. It's round 7. We're just happy for these guys to get drafted. So now it is your turn. Grade the Falcons draft. I'm going to give you my overall grade for rounds 1 through 7 in just a moment, but let me know what your grade is first in the comments section. I'm going to go a simple B. I think it's a B grade, which if you pick number 8 in the draft, you'd probably like to finish with a better grade than just a B. I like the Bijan Robinson pick, just not crazy about the Zach Harrison pick, and I need to be persuaded more into Bergeron. I need to see it to believe it. How about that? But I love the Clark Phillips pick. And then they got 2 round 7s. They're not going to factor much into a draft grade. So to me, it's kind of right down the middle of the fairway. I'm giving it a solid B.